This conference will now be recorded.
Doing good, thanks.
So I have some issue with my internet, so connected through mobile. Okay. So if in case I drop out, please wait. Don't. I will rejoin again in probably 1 or 2 seconds. So let's start. Or we should wait for Babu.
A minute. Before starting, so Shiva, you shared that email, right? I think I did not get it yet. I'm checking my email now. Or you're ready to share the documents?
So there is the email must have come from Aditech training.
Not training it. Yeah,
It
that's
must have
what.
not come from Shivam.
Okay.
You didn't get
Because
that?
no, I'm yet to get that one.
Really?
Maybe Shrikant or Samir, did you get?
I got the email. I have downloaded the document.
Okay.
So one second. How come you're not getting just a minute?
I'm not sure.
So did I put your email ID correctly? One second.
Sudhakar VP at
So it's sent from
outlook.com.
Aditech training. Then surely I've sent you. How can I miss you, man? Once. Did it bounce back or something? Notes. So I shared from that.
Shiva, your voice is breaking up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go
now
ahead.
it's okay.
So, Samir, do you see Sudhakar's email ID there when I shared? Let me also check. So it is countable. So I'm intended. Babu, you got that email, right? The shared one. Okay, so I'm seeing this details.
Babu, Bobli, Srikant.
Yeah.
So
I
Bobil
think you
Shrikant is
missed
you.
out.
Oh, I missed out Shrikant VP. No, Sudhakar VP I missed out. Okay, sorry for that. I'll forward it right now.
Okay, fine.
Sudhakar VP, no?
Yeah.
At gmail.com. Yes. And actually, I get confused between you and Shrikant. I don't know why.
Okay.
Sudhakar VP. I just said it. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Sorry for that. Okay.
No problem.
Okay. Now, let's start with our Babu. You're there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sorry to start late. My internet connection is being strange in the morning, so I have to connect through mobile. So in case I drop in between, don't panic. I'll be back. Okay, in 1 or 2 minutes. From morning, the internet is not working. I don't know why. The broadband is gone. Anyway, so let's start. Okay. So what we will do today is basically work on activities, right? I said don't miss the class drill, right? Because we are going to work on a functionality called a search functionality, which which will be used at many places when we do, because we'll be using search functionality for searching through SOAP services, REST services, okay, and we will be using now search functionality using activities. So it's a good exercise and a very interesting one for it to start with. So what is a search functionality? Okay, so what we'll do is, so you guys can see my screen, right? So we are going to build one screen like this, okay, and we are going to build two. So there'll be two sections like this. So we'll call this section will be our main section. This section will be our subsection. This section will be a subsection. Okay, so this main section will call this as search. So we can search anything. Okay, we'll search customer because that already have customer section. Customer. Then here we will call this as cust ID section. I'll tell you why. We'll call this as cust result section. Okay, so what we'll put here is basically we have one control here, one main control here, and this main control will be customer ID. And here we'll have we'll have first name, last name, age, gender, city code, zip code, and everything. You understand, right? And here, so basically this is so please interrupt me if you have any questions. Okay, so then we'll have a button here called as submit button. Okay, so this button we will search as search customer. So what are we doing actually in this exercise? There are multiple things we're doing. We'll do one by one. First is the functionality is when we click on this, so we need to actually this we need to connect to a database. So this is our database, right? When I say database, a table. So we have a database here, and this is our DB, and this table is table customer table, right? And as soon as you click this button here, we need to call an activity. So this will be our activity. And as soon as you click this button, my voice is clear, right? This activity will be clicked, and then what this activity has to do, the activity has to read the database, and once it reads the database, it gets the record and put it here. So what happens? The activity, so once you click here, you need to pass this, right? Just a minute. So what will happen, as soon as your customer, once you click this, you need to connect to the database and give the record. But how to give? You need to pass this customer ID, right? When you pass this customer ID to the activity, you're passing a parameter. Okay. So there are multiple things we are going to do next. Just understand one by one. So what is a parameter? Suppose I put here C01. So I'm going to pass C01 here as a parameter. So this activity will take the parameter. With that parameter, activity is going to query the table. Okay, it is going to query the table. Right. Once it queries the table, it will return the records. Once it returns the records, it's as soon as it returns the record, it's going to set the values here. All these things. You understand what I'm saying? So this is your activity. And we have to use a method called as, I'll tell you how it works, called as obj. Okay, there are various methods we'll work on, but this is the method which we'll work on today. Did you understand the exercise, what we're trying to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is search functionality, and every search functionality, every application will have a search functionality that you put this. When you click on that, it goes to the database and check and gives that. Okay. So this part one, what I'm talking about is a part one. Okay. There's a part to it. Part two also to it. So part two talks about part two is probably if you can complete today, it's fine. Otherwise, we'll take in another session. So part two is first, if now this is a happy scenario. What is a happy scenario? The C01 you put and it's available here. What if you put here and the records are not available? So that time you have to, that is a failure scenario. So here, what is the failure scenario? So we'll have a failure scenario. Failure scenario in the sense when the records are not there. So how do we handle that? How does PEGA handle this kind of exceptions? We have to use something called as jump. So I'll say how to use that, how to work on that. Okay. We also use some when rule. Okay. We'll here also we'll understand many things. What is a temporary work object? You know what's a temporary work object, right? Now we'll learn about temporary work object. What's a temporary work object and all those things. So we'll go slowly one by one. But you understood what is an exercise, right? So let's start. So for the construction part, what all we need? We need this section. We need two sections. We need three sections. 1, 2, 3. And you need to embed two sections inside one section, and this search button has to be inside this I mean this main section. Okay, that's why, because the search button has to take the information from here, the activity has to be called and then put it over here. That's why we need three sections clearly. If you try to put this everything in one section, you're going to mess it out. And try that. You're going to mess it out because you don't understand different things. So make sure that construction is very clear. Three sections embedded in the main section, and the search button is the main section, and the activity is called from the main section. Okay, so in the construction part we need two sections, and we need to connect to the database, right? And so we need two pages also, right? What I'm saying, this is the work layer. This is a work layer. If you want to connect to the customer layer, I need two pages, right? So I need to define two pages here, a page here and a page here. You know why, right? To get this and to get this. You getting what I'm saying? We need two pages also. Fine. So we need two pages. We need three sections. We need to put all this with the search button. Then we'll need to call the activity and do this. So let's do the construction first. So by doing this, we'll learn the first method of activity called as obj open. For you, it might find little, you'll be trying, when you see the activities, you might think that, okay, what is all going on? But don't get scared. Uh, you'll get a little time to adjust to how the activities behave. But then I know you guys are very smart. So because after obj open, we are going to do obj. There are many other obj browse. Obj browse is very simple, and then we are going to do something called as calling one activity from another activity. Okay, and here when we do, we'll also see tracer. So this exercise is very very good exercise, because we'll see also how tracer works for an activity, and how a clipboard looks when I'm doing all this. How do you see the pages? Okay, so all those kind of things. It's a good exercise to work. Okay, so let's go very quickly. Okay, so what do we need first? First I'll create it. So let me see whether my database is there, table is there. So my table is there, right? Customer table is there. And what all do I have there? So I have customer ID. I have first name, last name. So I'll use all this. Okay. If you guys want any other table, I can create and search for it. Or you want to use the same one? You want to use customer search, or you want to create a new entire search with a different like so we're talking about like insurance search or claim search. I can do that also. What do you guys want to do? You want to continue with this one, or we
I
create
think
entirely one and then do it?
we will
Yes,
go
Samir.
with this one only, Shiva.
Okay. No, so that you see, if I go with a new one, you'll understand everything from bottom to what I'm doing, creating the table.
I think it would be better.
Let's do a new one.
Shiva, I think it would be better if you, yeah, new one. Yeah.
Yeah. So what to do? I'll create a new one. You try to create for this as a practice. Okay.
Perfect.
Same concept. I'm creating a new one so that you understand what's a page, because first name, last name is also available, at the top data layer, right? At the top Tesla layer, right? But I'll create a new one so that you understand. So So let's do that very quickly because we have to do a lot of work. So we'll go and create a new data type. So what do you want to do? Like a claim search, or what all things you have? How about an automobile search or any claim automobile classes we already have? What about some other classes? Give me an example, Babu. Babu is Babu will able to come with a good case. Babu, any good example, business scenario you want to with a search?
We can go with the manufacturing side of it, right?
No,
If
I
you
mean,
want to build it.
just tell me these variables, na? Where you want to put here, what you want to put here. If it's manufacturing, what do you want to put here, what do you want to put here?
Okay, in that case, we can go with the, model as Tesla X, and then variable as,
Ah,
we have three variants there.
yeah. See now, Babu, like customer
Uh-huh.
ID has all this. Customer has all these properties, right? So what object? Suppose you want to take Tesla model.
Or we can even build a vendor now who supplies material to Tesla, right? In that case,
Hmm.
we can build that as from the scratch. If you're trying to do it, we can bring another one.
Hmm. Suppose what
It's
if I take
choosing
this
of the
one,
material,
simple
right?
one, like if you say, see if I say bank account, if my
Mm-hmm.
bank account is my class, so
Oh, gotcha.
bank, yeah. So I'll use bank ID as my search, and then I will use when I take the
Bank
results will be
name of the bank
IFSC,
also.
yeah, IFSC code. Then the results would be
Then
bank
wire transfer.
name,
You want all
Maybe
the
when you
details,
yeah,
I
do
can
that,
give you.
account type. Okay, I'm trying to, or business type, right? It could be a loan one, and I can say bank branch. Can I do this? I know it's
Yep.
not related to our topic of insurance, but I can use this, right? Uh,
Yep.
so let's do that from scratch. Okay, so I'll use here bank.
Also Bank of America.
I'll use Tesla Bank. Yeah,
Okay.
Our Tesla Bank. Just okay, just for the sake of how to run this. So we'll create one quickly. I'll again put in my. This will automatically take you to the this one. You can put it there also, or I can put here also. Okay, it's up to you. I would rather put it here because it's available for me everywhere. Because I maintain that structure, right? Yesterday I told you we'll maintain
Mm-hmm.
our structure. You guys want to put in application? I'm okay with that. Okay, but you maintain one structure. Don't go here and there. See what I'm telling you understood, right, guys? So let me open yesterday's, which is the one. You remember this? See what I'm saying? See here, the are clear. All our classes will come here. All our data will come here. So I'll maintain that structure. You also maintain it. Suppose you're putting all the tables also here. Maintain that. Okay. Otherwise, sometimes you search, you'll get lost. Oh, why did I create here? Oh, half here somewhere. To maintain one consistency. Okay. So we are with the data model. So Tesla Bank. So I'm create one. This will be my Tesla Bank ID. It's my primary key. Then I'll say Tesla. uh, what else do we say? Okay, so Tesla IFSC code. Then Tesla. So in Tesla business type, you can actually take a pick list and drop down. So what all things you want to put? Insurance. I mean, this may not be relevant to Tesla, but I'm just putting different values for what else you want. Yeah, I'm just putting some values. So tri-state is my favorite because I was there for some time. Anyway, okay. So we come. So this is the variables we put. Now, once we put the things, what we'll do? Source, create a local source. Tesla bank ID. We do it. I'm doing it again so that you understand what all things we did for creating a table. So if you see view details, you'll see a lot of things. Okay. So I was telling you, right? So when we create this table, Tesla data, Tesla bank, it's a table. So PR hyphen and this. And I've said every class we map to a table in PEGA, and there'll be a database mapping rule. So you can go here and you can see the database table mapping rule they maintain in a. So this is your database and this is your table. Okay. This customer data is always, it will be creating in customer data in 7.2 they create in the normal table, right? So this mapping will be always created. Then there is report definition. We create a report definition for you to reuse it. There's data page. So we'll talk about this data page when we finish activities. So the system automatically creates you many things for you to utilize as needed. So we'll see how to use all this. So we go to records. Now we'll create a record. Tesla Bank TV 01 New York branch insurance bank name Tesla insurance IFSC code DB0. So our records are created. So we have this database over there. Now what we'll do? So we are our data layer. Our database done. Now we need to get in the work layer, right? So first, what you need is a page, right? We need two pages because we need two pages. One to populate this, one to populate this section. Okay, and in the main section we'll carry all this. So how do we create a page? We'll go here, create data model because the Tesla is in data layer and we are in the work layer now. So we need to have a page. So we'll go to property and then so we have to say custom. Sorry, this is our bank, right? Tesla bank ID page. Okay, this is to get this one. Okay, so create open. And then what we'll do? You guys have to we have to point it to the Tesla. We have to point it to our table, right? Ah, God, sorry. See. Again, we need one more for the results. So we'll go data model property. We need to point to this because it's coming from the same records. So 2 pages are created, right? So we got this blue done, things done. Now let's go to our section. We are going to create now different sections. We'll create our first, the Tesla Bank ID sec. Okay. So we'll create an open. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to put one text box. And remember, we are in the work layer. We need to use the page, right, to get the date from the table. So your Tesla Bank ID page dot, we need Tesla Bank ID, right? Because this will be the ID. We'll put TB01 and that will search for us. So save this. Then so this section is done. Now we come to this section. Tesla Bank results. So what all we need here? So let's go to our, what is our table? We need Tesla Bank branch, business, all these things. Right? So we can collect in a, we don't need a drop down, right? We can all collect this in a text box. Though these are drop downs, we can collect in a text box. So because we are search and displaying, right? So we'll put everything as a text box. Text input. How much you have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, now you remember. Now you would know why we need a page, right, guys? Samir. You guys are there?
Yes, Shiva, continue.
I see only 3. We had 4, right? 1, 2. Tesla Bank branch. Business type. Why do I don't see business type? IFSC code. Did I see IFSC code? Why don't I say IFSC code? Hmm? This is IFSC code. Oh, it's come as Tesla. I know why it has come as Tesla. You should not mess up with our organization name. So that's done. So our this now we'll do our main section. Create. I know there's a bit of work, but that's important. Otherwise, it'll be very constructive. I mean, very, what do you call it, to do very systematic. So now we'll need a, yeah. So we need Tesla search. So I'll create an open. Now it'll do. So I'll just refresh this. I'll go to my user interface section. I'll take my Tesla ID sec here and Tesla results here. So this two different sections. Now in between these I need a button. So I'll take a button and put it in between. Okay, so I'll go and rename this. So this will be my okay. So that becomes here. This is our construction is done. Okay, now we are just half the way. We need a flow action flow, of course, to run it. And then when you click this, then information from here goes to here. Okay, so you just done the construction part. Now we come to our major one, which is called as activity. Okay, so we'll create an activity for this. So where is activity done? So we're going to go here, right click, create, technical, then we're going to create an activity. Okay, and we'll call this activity as activity. Okay, now when you create an activity, you will see many tabs over here. Okay, one is we'll go to the important one. Security is something we'll see. Suppose you are calling from a SOAP service, or when you're using a service, we are not started working on service yet. This will be in the second last week of our chapter. So security, we leave it for that. In security, there are different type of activities. Okay, and here we are going to work on a normal type of activity. We'll do also, when we do obj save. Right now we're doing obj open. When we do obj save, we are also going to want to work on activity called as utility. When we do declare expressions, we are going to work on activity called as trigger, rule connect when we use for SOAP services. So there are different activities out there. There are many things which we'll work on. So right now we'll work on activity of type activity. Okay. So there are other three tabs. One is pages and classes. This is for your reference. Okay. One is parameter, which we need to do pass, right? And then steps. These are the main steps. So when I say activity, an activity will have multiple methods. One will be obj save, property set. There are different methods out there. We'll see one by one. So initially you might find it a little strange, but that is fine. Just go and practice. So now what we need to do, this activity I'm talking about. So as soon as the customer is fed here, we need to take this into our parameter. So first thing that to do is, see, as soon as the person puts TB01 here and he clicks search, the TB01 has to go to pastor because I'm searching for TB01, right? And TB01 has to be fetched from the database and then given it back. So I need a parameter. So I'll define here parameter. I can put any name. So I'll say TB bank ID. Just give it a string and leave it there. Okay, so that's the first thing I do. Second, this activity has to fetch from this data, right? So it needs a reference. We need to tell that activity from where to fetch. So that's why we go to pages and classes. We go to our class. Which class? Our table, right? Our table will go to our table. So I'll say Tesla page. So when I say Tesla page, Tesla bank page. When I said Tesla bank page, it got a reference. Now, because we need to open the records from the table, we need to have a reference. So this Tesla data. One second, guys. So we need to get this means first we need to, once we connect this, we need to get a reference. So this is the reference. So this page is like a blank page which is holding this reference. So I can create a page on the fly, and this is called as a user page. Okay, so one parameter I created, and parameter also system creates in a page called as param. When I create this, system creates in a page called as user page. Then I go to step. Okay, so what do? I got this reference. Okay, so I need to do something called as first called as page new, because the system will create a new page. When I say make new page, it'll create a blank page. Now what is this page referring to? The page is referring to our database. Okay, so it's like, so there's no records. I'm just, my page, it's like a document which is open and referring to all the variables of here, your bank ID, all these variables it is already referring to. Okay, so I'll go to add step. So this is how I know one active one. When I write Java code or any class, these are the different methods you need to execute. So what is my intention now? I need to fetch records from this. Okay, I got the parameter. So what do we do? It's simple. We use something called as obj open. So when I put the drop down here, you can see many methods here. All these methods which I showed you in yesterday, right? In that document, it's all there, which is being classified as different things, right? So right now we are going to work on obj open. We also work on obj save. We'll also work on obj. You can work on obj delete, okay? Page new. So many things will cover slowly, and this is going to be harder for your application. So I'll say obj open. So when you say obj open, God. Okay. So when I say obj open, you have to click this down. Now you see, now you'll see a lot of things out here, right? So let me explain you. Label is something, you can just label like, L1 and you can L2. Okay. So how does this help you? Suppose in any step below, you want to jump to so there is something called as jump. You can jump to a previous step based on some conditions that something fails, or you want to loop it back on some condition. You can jump it to a label. So that is label. So loop is what? Suppose you want to loop, suppose the records, you have a bunch of records and you want to loop one by one and do that. So there is something called as embedded page for each top level. So top level is also page, which I'll tell you what is that. Embedded page, value list, value group. These are two different. Value list is like an array of elements. Okay, value group is like again array of elements. So we'll talk about all this in a different exercise. So loop is like, suppose I want to loop it multiple times. Okay, when it's like a precondition. If I want to put a precondition before I want to execute that, then this is our main activity, and this is the page in the sense reference what it's going to do. So here I would say open a new page referring to DB. Which DB? Our Tesla bank. So what happens is it collects all the reference. Okay, so it is just a reference, has no records. Okay, now open the record for TB01, for example. We are opening the records. Okay, in the sense we are connecting to database and opening the records. So you put the same reference here because we want to put in the table. Now you should open this arrow because it will give you obj open what, right? It has. So I want to open for Tesla, same data, which class to open. So this. So whenever I say class and table is same. Okay, in PEGA. So this is where I want to open my records. Okay. Now, so this is like lock and release on command. It's like if you want to open, suppose Samir is trying to create this and Sudhakar is trying to put some record in this table, and both can happen at the same time, right? So if you don't want anybody to put any new records, you can lock it. You can release on command. So we are not going to do that. You can do that so that no new records comes when you run this activity. That's fine. So now we are not interested in that. So what do you want to open? You want to open for TB01, which is passed over here, and you want to open from database, right? So this is so you want to pass. So it is asking, okay, what do you want to open? I want to open so that this, I'll put it here. This is my page dot my bank ID is equal to the parameter which was passed. The parameter was passed as TB01. So what does it see? If you go up down, you'll see many things here. The parameter comes here. Okay, select this. So if when TB01 comes, the TB01 go here, and it will go to your this open, and it will open that record. Okay. So once it opens the record, all the records. Suppose TB001 was passed here. All the records are now held up in this page. So TB page 1 has the information now. So we now will go and add a step again. Once you get the information, now you have to set it back here. So property. So there is a method called as property set. So again, if you go down, there are many methods. What you're going to use is you're going to work on property set, core, set, map decision tree. All this will work. Okay. Property set. Again, you give the reference of the page. You don't need to give a reference to the page because you are going to property set here. So what is property set? We got the records. All the records are available in this. Now you have to put that inside your So this one. So there is a concept of primary page. Okay, what is a primary page? I'll tell you. So if you give a down arrow, you'll say primary page. Okay, primary page. I'll tell you what is out there. Okay, so you can say, so yeah, so you need to put it here, right? So this is my Tesla bank results page, right? Then I go dot. Then the first one I have is, what is the first one I have? I mean, you can take anything. So I'll just go on adding like this. So I'll tell you what's the primary page. Just hold on for that. This exercise is a little complex, but it will tell you a lot of things. See, I'm not typing anything. You just have to go on selecting it. So, okay. Okay. Now I have to set values on this screen. Where do I get from this page? This page is already holding the values, because when I opened it, this, when I did first page new, this is page is blank. When I did the open the records, this page got all the records. Okay, that is from the database. Now from the database, I need to set it back to the screen. So that's why I use primary. So now I'll use this and set dot, and then this is business type. Oh, sorry, dot business type. On the page db page dot. This is Tesla. db page dot. This is branch. ID is already there up, right? So okay, I'll save this. Property base class dot Tesla bank results page is undefined. Oh wait, yeah, forgot a dot here. Probably I'll retab this. So that dot was missing. So it was just giving error. So you guys are getting me what I'm saying? Throw me questions, please. So jump is used for exception, and we are going to work on that, which is your this side. Okay, all set. Now how do we apply this? Now I will go to our search screen. Okay, we have to double click this. Okay, because when clicking this, you need to call the activity which we created. Okay, so you have to go to actions. You have to create an action set, because on the event you are going to click. When you're going to click, you're going to go here. You remember refresh, which we did? Refresh. And here you'll see data transform activity. So here, if you put the down arrow, you'll see the one which you created. See, search Tesla bank. So put that. As soon as you put, it will ask you for the parameter, because you define the parameter, right? What is this parameter? You're going to pass this Tesla bank ID, right? So you go here. You always take this, because that's there in that page, and then Tesla bank ID. Then you submit this. Save this. Okay. Then we go create our flow action. Why you guys are quiet, man? You guys are there, right?
Yes, Shiva, go ahead.
Yeah. If I lose my connection, I won't understand. So I'm asking you again, and I'm checking again in between.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So flow action. So we need a flow action. So Tesla bank search flow action. We need, well, always put FA, because there are different types of flow action, like screen flows and all. No, local flow action. So always put FA. That's why I use that convention. You also follow that, because we'll be doing different types of flow actions later. So which is our main section. Okay, this is ID, this is the main section. Say this. Now we'll create a flow, right? And put FL, because there are other types of flows also, screen flow and all. That's why you should put it as FL. Now what do you do? What will you do? Tell me, Samir. How do I connect my flow action?
Click on the connector and then I think configure
Yes,
it.
click on the connector, remove this, take your flow action. Okay, same. Yeah, put this here. So that makes that, right? What else we need to do? Srikanth. What else we need to do? Babu.
To give the start and end flow action, right?
No, we are just calling one flow action, no? And that flow action will call that section. That section will call activity. So we're all set. But there's something more we have to do. What about Sudhakar? Tell me what to do. Srikanth, Sudhakar, anybody?
We need to display the result.
That's fine. There is one setting you guys are forgetting. So Srikanth,
In the process,
very good. Yeah,
Uh,
very good. Srikanth is practicing. See, always I get confused between Srikanth and Sudhakar. It's something I go here and there. Please understand. Huh?
no
But there are a lot of
worries.
ways. Okay. So Srikanth, were you asking me in WhatsApp questions, or what is Sudhakar? About
No,
this.
right now it is Sudhakar speaking. Maybe Srikanth might have been
no,
asking.
Okay.
I asked you regarding this one.
Srikanth, sorry. I mean, I think I disconnected. I mean, if I get confused between you two, I mean, for me, all of you are same, right? Okay. So Srikanth, you're saying something.
No, actually, I asked you regarding the flow action, right? The other time
Okay.
when we.
No problem. No problem. So Sudhakar, you were saying, so what do we need to do here? Sudhakar was speaking, right? Process.
Yeah,
Yes,
process,
very
then
good.
create
So
a new
process,
work
we need to
object.
create work object, right? Don't forget this. Okay. These settings here, don't forget, right? Now, we did this always, right? Now we need to do one more setting here. You know this temporary object. See this? It looks like this also. Why temporary object? Because when we till now when we created new customers, right? We are creating a new case, right? You guys are there, right? One second. Let me put everybody on mute. So when we created a customer, we were creating a record in the database. When we are creating, suppose you're creating a new bank type through a screen, you're creating a new record. Now, right now, I'm not creating any record. I'm just searching, right? I'm searching for the database. I'm not creating anything new. So in that case, you can create temporary work object. So when you create a temporary work object, it is not going to generate that C45, C56, whatever you see, right? That is not going to get generated. Okay, and that we don't need because we are just searching, right? So that's why when you search or something, when you don't want to really insert any records, you can use temporary work object. Okay, so I save this. Okay, all set. Now let's run. So everything is correct. Your Tesla bank ID has come, search has come, and this has come, right? Okay, now let's put our records and see. And let me close all this one second. So let's see what records we had. TB01. So let's put TB01. Okay, so when I click here, it goes to our activity and comes back and puts this. Okay, so now you got how it is done. It's working, right? So now let's do some tricky parts. Okay, let's look at our clipboard. Just now we searched, right? So in clipboard, what pages you should see? Tell me. Clipboard, what pages you should see? I'll explain in more detail how we got what's a primary page, everything I'll tell you. What pages you should see, Babu, in clipboard? See, we created one customer ID section page. We created this page to connect it, right? There were two pages we created. So where do I go and see? You should go to user pages, and there'll be something called as PY work page. So I'll explain you what is all this. So suppose you go to PY work page, you'll see these two pages we created, right? This was to hold this one, and this was to hold this, right? So this pages you will see. So when I click here, you can see TB01 which is passed. I passed. When I click here, you will see the information which I got back, right? You also see something called as TB page. What is TB page? From where did this come? Shrikant? From where did this come? TB page.
It's a temporary. The page we have created it in activity.
Very good, very good. So we
That
created.
connects to database.
Very good. See, when I created an activity, it actually, TB page I created and I connected to my table, right? So I told
Yes,
you, right,
yes.
when I was creating this activity. Yeah, so when I create this activity, I said that, right? It's creating a blank reference here. Then it's opening and putting in the table, right? Putting the value. So this page contains my records, right? So I'm opening my record, right? So when I open the record, I got everything here. See, business type, even the PX create date, OBJ class, and everything was this. So this was some predefined fields by the system, right? Plus the fields which I defined. You see, OBJ TB page, which is already there. Okay. Now understand how to navigate this. How to navigate clipboard and find your page. Go to PY work page, TV page. I'll tell you about PY work page. I'll tell you about primary page. A lot of things you need to understand theoretically. Okay, so we have some more to do, but let me explain you 5 minutes. You guys have 5 minutes more, or you want to wind up now? How is that?
Let's do it
Samir?
for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay,
no problem. We
so
can
what happens
continue.
is theoretically, okay, great. Um, So what happens is now you have to understand this how this works. Okay. So how does this work? Your flow started here, and then you had an assignment here, and then your flow ended here. Okay. So here what we are doing, you are calling a flow action. Your flow action, basically your flow action is here. Right? This is your flow, right? Your flow action. Then your flow action is calling the section, right? And then section is calling an activity. So the three things which is happening, right? One by one. Your assignment is calling the flow action. The flow action is calling a section, and section is calling activity. Section means multiple sections, the main section, and then activity. And then activity is, executing and putting it back in the section. Okay. So in short to say, your flow is this. This is an assignment. It's an assignment shape, right? And in assignment shape, you had the section, right? You had all the, when I say section, I'm talking about when I ran this, right? And also one more thing. So you see that no case ID was created. You only knew is there, right? If I had run this initially, you had C50, 60, whatever, right? So because I said the temporary work object, right? That's why. So just in middle I was saying that, so just remember that. So okay, so coming back to that. So when I ran this flow, this is my assignment. It actually pulled up this section, right? What section? This is the section I see, right? And as soon as it pulled up the section, it actually called it actually called an activity, and my activity is here, and then my activity pulled up from the DB. This pulled up from the DB, right? So there are various calls happening internally, right? So my activity, so you are, suppose you imagine yourself, my activity is what I'm doing everything, right? So imagine you are here, you're standing here, okay? Because this is where the heart of things are happening. So when I'm at the activity side, this is my activity. Okay, so what happens is when PEGA starts a flow, it will go and put, it will create a default page for you, and that is called as PY work page. And that is your landing page. You understand? So when you saw the clipboard, you saw this PY work page, right? So this is your landing page, and you see this map to your work layer. So this landing page will have a lot of attributes, and this is coming from where? From your PY PC underscore Tesla auto work table, and you can see everything here. You'll see the PY ID. There are no PY ID. Why? Because it's a temporary object. Suppose you have cleared that temporary stuff, you have got a PY ID. You see PZI, you won't see PZ key, I think, here because it's blob, but you can see PY status work. You can see PY, all those things which you saw in the table or basically which is coming here. Okay, so PY work page is your landing page. Okay, and what happens here? So when I'm executing from here, for me, this is also known as a primary page. So from the activity side, this is also known as a primary page. So if you want to collect information from here, I can say primary dot. So when I say primary dot bank Tesla bank ID page dot bank ID. So when I say primary, remember it is going to the previous page. Anywhere you see primary, it is wherever you are. So this orange arrow is very important because you are here. When I say primary, go to the previous page. Okay, so that is a primary page. So, and then we defined something called as parameter. So it also creates a parameter page, and that parameter page is called as param. So if I define a parameter also p1, it will say param.p1. It's a temporary page which it creates. Okay, so then there is step page. You know what's a step page, right? What's a step page? This is my step page, TB page, right? This page is my reference, my table. I need to work on the table, right? So this is the parameter page. So you'll say step page, step page, step page. This is all temporary. You can also say page new, and last you can say page remove if this page is very heavy. Otherwise, system will automatically clear it. This pages, it creates pages when you run time, it creates. Clear? So this primary page. Okay, primary page is always the previous page. Now suppose you had a bigger flow like this. Okay, and then your flow ends. Okay, so suppose this is the flow, which is your, and this is your. So where is PY work page in this flow? This is a separate thing I'm talking about. Where is PY work page in this flow? Which is PY work page? Suppose this is your assignment one, assignment two. When I say assignment, you understand it. Assignment shape, and this is assignment three. Which one of them is a PY work page?
I think it should be on assignment 1.
Three.
Yeah. It is assignment one. PY work page is always a landing page. Okay. So if you are here, your PY work page will hold. Suppose you are here, PY work page is the landing page. It will hold all the pages that you create as you navigate. Okay, because PY work page is the landing page, and it will see it is spawning this page. Your TBID page is all spawning from here, na? So this is like PY work page is like your master page, right? It's like your master page. And inside this master page, you have this TB ID page, then you have this TB results page, then you have the activity which you created, that small page. So it's holding all the pages together like a container, okay? And then these pages are there. But when you are at here side, suppose you are at point number 3, which is your primary page. Suppose you created page 1 here, user pages. Okay, I created page 1 here, user page. So I created page 2 here, and I created page 3 here. Okay, and if I'm at if I'm at this assignment while running the flow, I'm here for page 3, which is a primary page. Babu, I'm standing here. Okay, my reference is here. I'm here. Which is the primary page for page 3 or the assignment 3?
It will be page, I mean, the landing page, right? It's just PY work page in assignment 1.
Samir, what is the landing page? Oh, sorry. When I'm at this assignment, maybe I'm filling some form. For me, what is the primary page when I'm here?
I
Primary
think that would
page.
be page.
Primary will be the same place,
It
right?
would be the same, yeah. What it
Again,
be?
guys, what did I say here? When I'm running this, I have 3 things, right? I have my assignment. This is my activity. I'm here. When I'm here, which is my primary page? This is my primary page, no? The previous page previous to this. Primary
I
page
think the
is,
section.
so when I am here, my primary page is 2. You get me what I'm saying, guys?
Okay, okay.
Okay, okay.
When I run this flow, my landing page is PY work page, like a container. It's a PY work page will be like a container holding all these pages. When I run the any flow in PEGA, PY work page is automatically created. I don't create it. And then PY work page will hold page 1, page 2, page 3. Okay. And suppose I'm here, what is the primary page? Suppose I'm running filling a form here in this. When I
Page
run,
1.
when I tell you,
Page
so
one.
page 1 is a
Page
primary
one.
page.
So the previous
When
page
I'm
is your primary page.
correct. So there's a concept of top page also. When it's a top page, it is your, this becomes your top page. This is your top page. There's a concept of top page. This is your primary page. Okay. When I'm here, this becomes top, this becomes primary, and this is your current page. So here, if I see, suppose I have just 1 minute. Suppose I have a variable called as age. Suppose that in this assignment, you know what's an assignment I'm talking about, right? 1, 2, 3. Here I have form, here I have form, here I have form. I have a form like this. You know what's an assignment, right? In every, suppose in this I have a form like this. I have a separate form, okay? And I'm here now. I'm filling a form here. Now in that form, I had defined the same variable age, and I put in this I'm talking about assignment 1. In age I'll put 10. Here I come in this form, the same variable I use age 20. Here I come and I use same age, I'll put age 30. Okay, and after this, I'll try to display age. I'm trying to display age. Okay, so if I say primary dot age, then what will be the value? If I say dot age, what will be the value? If I say top dot age, what will be the value? This is an important question in any interview. Shrikant, can you explain this? Can you tell me what is primary dot age value? I'm here. Okay, what is primary dot age
Primary
value?
20.
Okay, Shrikant, age dot age. Shrikant is there.
That should be
Ah,
that should be 30.
age is 30. Samir or Sudhakar, what's top dot age?
10.
Yeah, you getting me what I'm saying? Clear, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So, so there are other pages also. Something they have a page. They say that they have something called as prompt dot. Okay, so I never use this, but it is something like if I'm here, the next page, the upcoming, but I
The
don't know how it
future.
is used. Future,
You
but I
mean
don't
to
know how
say
they.
if I am in
Mm,
second page, then the prompt dot is the future one.
yeah, but I don't know how they get the reference because we are not even reached here. So I have not used this. I don't know where it is used, but if you look at different type of pages, you'll find this also. I'll really have to understand how this is used. So, but then we need to not worry about too much. But these are important things. This is not deleting. So these are important things. Top, primary, PY work page. It's a landing page, right? So a lot of things for today. Now I took this bigger topic so that before the weekend comes, make sure that you have time to work on this. So can you guys make sure you work on this before we
Sure.
start Monday? Because Monday we are going to do the part 2. Okay, you know what's a part 2, right? We are not yet finished. This one, failure scenarios, jump and all. Okay. Okay. So before we wind up, next week we will start at 7:30 a.m. Right, everybody?
I would love to.
Yeah, because I'm done with 6 a.m. losing my sleep for 2 weeks. I'm just joking. 7:30 a.m. to next week, right, guys? All set, all of you. Babu,
So you're
Sandeep,
All
going
sir.
to
set.
start the
Shiva,
class at 7:30 or
Sorry, I
till
did not
7?
hear you.
No, are we going to start the class at 7:30 a.m.?
Yes, yes. You said no, Sudhakar, 2 weeks you want at 6, and then afterwards you adjust, right?
Can we do it 7?
7,
7
all
to
of you.
8? Yeah,
yeah,
7 to
Babu,
7,
be.
7 to 8, okay, all of you.
100%. I'm okay with it.
Samir, Shrikant, what about Shrikant?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay, Samir, Shrikant, Sudhakar, Babu, you're okay, right? 7 to 8.
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. At least I'll get 1 hour sleep, right? Okay, Sudhakar, thanks for adjusting. And so let's continue with 7 to 8. So please practice this, and we'll see. And please come to par with me because we are going to go in many topics ahead. Please be in par with me. Any questions, call me. Okay. Babu, I could not speak to you yesterday because I was so tired. I just slept.
No issues, Shiva. I'll call you sometime tomorrow morning.
Yeah, okay. Sure. Have a good weekend, guys. We'll catch up
Thank
at 7
you.
Monday. Okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Bye.